Welcome to School to Startup by Tracxn, a series where we speak with distinguished educators and innovators who are shaping the bridge between classrooms and real-world entrepreneurship. Tracxn is a leading market intelligence platform tracking startups, emerging sectors, and innovation trends across the globe. Today, we are joined by Sharmin Nahar, Professor of Entrepreneurship at Lancaster University, whose work blends with academic excellence with passion for fostering innovation. In this conversation, we'll delve into her journey, explore how academia can nurture entrepreneurial talent, and discuss the trends shaping the future of startups and innovation. So the first question is how did you start your journey with academia, and how has been your experience so far?
Thank you, Ankita, for giving me the platform to share my story here. I'm really honored to be here. So I'm Dr. Sharmin Nahar. Currently, I'm working as an assistant professor in entrepreneurship and strategy department in Lancaster University. And prior to that, I also worked in as a lecturer in marketing and the course director of undergraduate marketing program in Birmingham City University, UK. And prior to that, I worked as a part-time teaching staff in Essex University. So far, that's my teaching journey in different universities in the UK. But to be very honest, this hasn't been a very linear process. Just like many of us, I was not very sure when I started my career where to begin and where to go, right? So I started with the hardcore corporate sector. I started working in the marketing team of a leading telecommunication multinational organization back in Bangladesh. And I was quite happy there. I learned new things, telecommunication, as you can understand, very, very dynamic environment. I learned a lot there. But after 2 years, I was having this feeling, not fully 2 years, maybe 1 year and some months, that something was missing, right? I was getting a lot of money, comparing my age at that time, and everything was very dynamic, but something was missing. It was like, you are paying your bill, but you're not contributing something to the society. And being a very sensitive child from my childhood, it was something that was kind of was at the back of my mind. And then I changed my track and I joined as a consultant in a leading market development organization. And that kind of changed my view about the world, because I didn't know so many things, so many angles, so many layers kind of exist in my own country. So I started working as a consultant, as I told you, in Swiss Contact Catalyst. It is one of the biggest market development projects in the whole world. And that time, some 10 or 15 years ago, that was even bigger, right? So during those years, I was deeply involved in entrepreneurship-focused interventions, different kind of market system reforms, and especially capacity development of a lot of people, including women, in the last miles, in the remote areas of Bangladesh, who were poorest of the poor, who were at the bottom of the pyramid. So these roles were hands-on, immersive, and very impactful. And then I thought, like, okay, I have to know what are the theories behind it, because as a person, I'm a very, I have to get into the detail of something. So I thought, after working some years, it's the right time to kind of have some academic background on these topics and get to know better why some ventures of women work better where others fail, right? What are the factors that are behind the successes of these entrepreneurial ventures of women? So that's why I started my MBA. It was a joint program between Netherlands, a university in Netherlands, and Greenwich University in the UK. So I successfully completed that. I did my dissertation on the success factor of women in Bangladesh. And during that research, I got to know that technology plays a very important part. And there is a big part of digital inclusion related factors that comes into play. And I thought like it's better to kind of go for more research, and that's why I started my PhD in Essex University, which is the intersection of gender, technology, and entrepreneurship. And I completed my PhD from there, and I started my academic journey in different universities in the UK. So long story short, that's my journey in the academia, and it's not been very linear. It was not like, from my childhood, I had this kind of dream that I will be an academician. Nothing like that. It happened by chance, I think. Yeah, that's my
I
story.
think it was your determination to, give back to the society, and that has all come together as part of your journey in academia. So my next question to you is something around, if there are any recent research projects or any initiatives that you're currently working on, and what kind of impact do you hope to create with these initiatives?
So right now, a number of projects are in the pipeline, and with co-authors from different countries of the world. One recurring themes of my research is technology management and the intersection with gender. And over the years, the sustainability angle has also come into play. So I'm right now working on a lot of projects which are looking at how state-of-the-art technologies. We all know technologies have a really short shelf life, but at this point in time, very advanced technologies like AI, blockchain, all these different kind of technologies, how they impact the digital transformation of organizations in global South, because we have done a lot of research in the global North, but we don't have a lot of insights from global South, and how gender kind of comes into play, and how different kind of advanced technologies can be used to kind of meet or address the sustainable development goals in global South. So a lot of projects are based on that as well. So a number of projects with number of colleagues, and it's a really exciting time, because how I see this different research is not only, some kind of paper writing exercise. We want to make real changes, real impacts, and some of the findings we hope it can be used by the practitioners and the policymakers in those countries as well. And if that happens, if a conversation starts from our research, that will be the real impact that we are looking for. So yeah, in a nutshell, digital transformation in the global South, then how different kind of digital tools have an impact in meeting the sustainable development goals, and how gender comes in, gender has an intersection with all these issues. These are the recurring themes of some of my research right now.
That's a lot, that's a lot going on, Ms. Sharmin, and you made it sound so easy, but I'm sure there's a lot going on your end, and there's so many projects, and it all sounds very interesting, from something that you're trying to do for women to sustainability and trying to build something for policymakers. It's very interesting to know. That brings me to something we want to know more about, what are your initiatives with entrepreneurship. So here we want to know what are the trends that you have been seeing in the startup ecosystem, and what do you think that the young students who are trying to build something in this ecosystem should pay attention to?
So one thing which has happened very interesting in the last few years, I would say that COVID-19 has opened, obviously it was a very, very horrible incident to the mankind, but at the same time, it opened a lot of opportunity for digital transformation. And I would say because of this digital transformation, we are seeing a lot of decentralization across the value chain, right? Starting from the blockchain, which is a very decentralized concept, and a lot of organization in different countries, also in global South, they are using blockchain related business models. So this is very decentralized, and the ownership is not only with a few person, which is the beauty of all these different very high-tech technologies. And we are having open source communities we are having remote first workforces. Many years back, we couldn't think of this. Right now, we are doing this podcast online, and remote first workforce is the reality of some of the organization. So these are golden opportunities for budding entrepreneurs all over the world. You don't need the full infrastructure like some years back, right? Right now, if you have a good idea, and if you can kind of mobilize your idea with the resources at hand, then you can be a born global company from day one. In our parents' generation, it couldn't be done in years. Right now, you have the opportunity from day one. If you have the right idea, if you know how to use the technologies, and the democratization, capabilities of many of these technologies, it has given a lot of powers to a lot of people, to women as well. You can teach yourself and learn a lot of things, and from that you can create entrepreneurial ventures. So I think that is one of the trends which is very, very fascinating for me. Another thing is the embedded sustainability related things. Right now, sustainability is not something that you will think of, oh, this is another business strategy or another tactics in the short term or another add-ons. It is nothing like that. It should be the core aspect of the startup journey for most of the organizations, because these sustainability related issues, this is kind of impacting every aspect of our world. And if we are kind of not paying attention to this, in the long run, no organization, no venture can sustain for sure. So this is another thing, this is another term which is kind of a very, very trendy right now. So I think the democratization power of or decentralization aspect of many of these technologies and the embedded sustainability, if you kind of align both of these, I think this is a very important trend right now.
Yes. Definitely. I think that's the calling for today's all ventures as well as any young entrepreneurs here. Any student success stories that you have come across? Or my next question is actually twofold. So one is, we want to know any student success stories with respect to their startups, as well as what do you think today's entrepreneurship courses at your university are trying to bring kind of impact on these initiatives as well?
I think in the three universities I have taught so far, and I have taught in multidisciplinary environment. I have taught marketing and entrepreneurship at the same time, and I have seen a lot of students. I am connected with them on LinkedIn, and whenever you see some kind of, they are going places, I cannot express how proud I feel. So many of them, they have launched their own ventures. The list is so long that it is very difficult to pinpoint a particular student. But I do remember a student, I was teaching, in a digital strategy course, and a student was working on the carbon credit verification related project, so how blockchain can be used for that, for transparent carbon offset validation. This is kind of a little bit high-tech kind of thing, but other students were solving more ground level problems. For example, how AI can be used for better sustainable fashion, all those different things. We have all these business ideas in different modules, and we see some of these ideas are implemented, for real. And the list is so long, as I told you earlier, that pinpointing a particular student won't be kind of fair to them. But these are some of the projects which kind of fascinated me. And in Lancaster University, we also have entrepreneurs in residence. So whenever you have some idea, not only from the theoretical perspective or academic perspective that we can provide, we also have in-house entrepreneurs in residence. The students can go to them and they can take their views on if they have some ideas. That is very beautiful. And in my previous institution, which is Birmingham City University, there are a lot of alumni. They kind of started their own projects in marketing. So a little bit of entrepreneurship in different fields of marketing, and they have done it for real, and they are making career out of that. In that department, they had a particular agency which were run by the current students, and they used to work with the real organization and get the real experience. And after that, after graduating, they could start whatever they wanted to do, working for others or starting their own enterprises. So all these different things, these are the real world impact, I would say, that some of these students are doing, which is very, very beautiful to see.
That's very interesting. Also, we've just now you mentioned so many entrepreneurship programs also associated with universities are trying to help these startups. So my next question is pretty much aligned to the same thing. We want to know what is the role of academia in evolving, has been evolving over the years to help these startups and innovation space, and what do you think is going to happen in the next few years with academia to support these innovations?
This is a very interesting question, and we have some people who are for this, academia kind of mingling with the real entrepreneurs. Some people say that no, it doesn't have an impact because entrepreneurship cannot be taught. But I think after being, after working in both the sides, working in the field, working in different organizations as consultant, capacity building, in the practitioner side, and working in academia itself, I think these courses have real value. And that's why, I have joined this Department of Entrepreneurship in Strategy in Lancaster University, which is very much about entrepreneurship itself. And I think this has real value because here we don't teach entrepreneurship as another function of that broader spectrum. We teach the student that entrepreneurship is a mindset. You have to be entrepreneurial wherever you are. You can be part of an organization, but then again, you can show entrepreneurial skill in your personal life. You can show entrepreneurial skill, and obviously, the real entrepreneurship, starting the venture. Obviously, you have to show all these things. So I think academia has real value. You can show people how to do things and teach people like all those different skills. So I think it has real value, and I think going forward, in some years, I think it has already started that academia will be a co-creator in creating all these wonderful ventures. And some of these ventures right now are very tech-based, and for that you need some kind of institutional support. And I think academic institution can be those institutional support where those tech-based things can be developed and tested and things like that. Right now it has already started, but many academic organizations, they are working as a knowledge partner, but I think in the future, in some years, they will take more active roles, and those lines will be blurred, and I think they will be the co-creator in different kind of innovation. I'm not talking only about a few universities. Obviously, a few universities in the world, they are doing that, but we'll see more of that in different institutions in the world. I think that will be the role of academia going forward.
Okay. One question I have, and I think this entire interview has been focused towards that, and just any particular advice that you would like to give to any students or budding entrepreneurs who are just starting out in the fast evolving landscape?
I think the thing is, like, just be yourself. Don't have fear of failure. One thing I didn't have that. It was like, for me, I was pivoting a lot. I didn't know, I didn't have any fixed kind of dream or career kind of roadmap. I was testing my water and went through a lot of jobs. And so what was kind of, kind of a good fit for me and where my passion lied. I realized that. So I would encourage people to kind of dream big. Don't have fear of failure. I mean, failure, it sounds very textbook, but this is true. I mean, failure teach you a lot of things, and you should be agile to a lot of things. You should be open-minded and have those networks early on, so that not only you get a lot of resources in terms of information and opportunities through those networks, but you build real kind of connections through that, which will help you lifelong. And start your venture and take calculated risk. Don't wait for that perfect opportunity that when everything will be perfect, then I'll start a venture. Nothing in the world works like that. If you have, the required resources, start it and take calculated risk and start your journey. That's the best advice, I think, I have for the future founders and other people who want to join academia or any fields for that matter.
Yes. So that's very interesting, and I think every time we ask this question to any professors, they always come up with such an interesting advice, and it's not just for entrepreneurs, but anyone can take these advice for their life. One last question from my side is, if anyone, I think you had so much interesting research that you mentioned earlier. So if any one of our audience wants to learn more about your work, your research, or any upcoming projects, so is there anywhere we can look up to, and if there any recent publications you would like to mention or highlight?
So I think I'm moderately active on LinkedIn. I think I should be more active, but I think whenever something happens important, those updates are there. So it would be wonderful to be connected on LinkedIn. And if you want to get a supervisor for your PhD project, or if you want to collaborate as a co-author, or if you want to have some kind of collaboration as a practitioner, so we can do that for sure. So I think LinkedIn is a good platform for that, where all the updates about me can be found. And if you search my name with Lancaster University, I think my other kind of updates you can find from there as well, and my email ID is also given there. So that way we can be connected for sure. Yes.
Yes, definitely. And I'm sure many of our audience would love to connect with you and know more about your research. So this is, where we, part, and I think it was great, having this conversation with you and your insights into your research projects, your initiatives, and your take on entrepreneurship has definitely been very interesting. And it was very nice to have you here on the call. And thank you so much for joining, Sharmin. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankita, for having me here. And it's good to be connected. And it's a great initiative. And I think people will learn a lot from different people's stories through your podcast. It's a
Thank you so
great
much.
initiative for sure.
Thank you.